This is a 2001 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 Classic fuel injected. What's been going on is I have kind of like a knocking when letting out the clutch, low speeds, light load situations. Going from a stop, it's almost like it chatters, knocks. I thought it was a balancer. I replaced the balancer dampers in there. Still the same thing. I've been getting some fuel leaking from somewhere out of a vent line after I ride it and I pull it up. So kind of made me dig into the fuel system a little bit, and I found out that the pressure regulators, fuel pressure regulators, can go out. From what I was told and what I was sold in an eBay kit, it said that the regulator was attached to the fuel pump. But I believe after having it apart, I took off the injector bracket and rail, the injector rail right here. And there's your injectors. And they go right in there like that, like that. But I believe that this might be the fuel pressure regulator right here, which, there you go, which I didn't order. But I did spray it out really good. I wanted to verify that my injectors work, so I pulled them out. I hooked a tube up to one side, sprayed some brake cleaner down there, the tube on the inlet side, and then I hooked it up to 12-volt battery and clicked them each, verified that they sprayed. One seemed like it wanted to drip at first, but as I sprayed more cleaner in there, it almost seemed like it was just spraying by the time I was done with it. So I actually have more injectors coming, but I was impatient. I didn't want to wait because my fuel pump came, and I thought the regulator would be on the fuel pump. In order to get to this point, all I did was take off the tank, just watch other videos on how to do that. The reason I'm making this video is because I can't find a video that has a pump with this oval opening and gasket right there. And this bike sat for 8 years with at least a quarter tank of gas in it before I got it. And here's the pump. There's a fuel filter. There's the pump. That tube there is hard as a rock. There's no way I'm going to be able to get it off without breaking those white clips, so I'll probably cut it off and replace that tube there. And then as you follow the tube around, it goes underneath there where my finger is going, and there's the screen, which is deteriorated and has left the pump open to all the debris. So I imagine the pump could be compromised. The filter is probably clogged. I just put a little tube plug there for when I pulled the tank originally. I siphoned all the gas out, what I could, and then pulled the tank and pulled that injector rail with what I believe is a fuel pressure regulator, which I did not replace, which I thought would probably be causing my symptoms. But it doesn't take me long to get to this point right here. So if I had, to pull it back apart after, testing, just replacing the pump, I'm not even sure if this is going to be my issue here, but I get a real gassy smell on startup. I'm getting 20 miles to the gallon right now, which is horrendous, half of what I should be getting, which means that gas is going somewhere and I smell it. I did pull my baffles, and some people say that could be causing it, but no, I don't think that's the reason. I'm getting half the fuel mileage I should be, especially after, pulling the pump. I ordered, let me run over here real quick. Sorry for the poor video quality. I just thought it would be worth it for some people to see this style 2001 1500 Classic. Oh, dropped it there. This is what I've got. There's a screen there. Here's what I thought would be the fuel pressure regulator. But I don't see this anywhere. And I think that's what I'm looking at over on that fuel pressure rail. So yeah, there is a clip there, pull that off with 2 little screws, and then you can spread these ears open, and that kind of will let the pump out. Then there's another one for the fuel filter, spread that open like that, and then you're going to want to disconnect this line that goes, to feeds the bike. Going to want to disconnect that line, and then slowly somehow work this out without breaking these probably pretty brittle plastic elbows. And then I want to thoroughly clean this up, thoroughly clean my tank to verify I had injectors that were spraying. I pulled them, hooked a tube to the end, sprayed brake cleaner down the tube, and then smacked them with 12 volts to their little prongs and verified that they're spraying. There's what I believe is the fuel pressure regulator. Could be bad. I don't know. I sprayed it out. See how it goes. But yeah, I couldn't find any videos of anyone with this style. Normally it's a round port, and it pulls out almost more like a car's. But yeah, that's pretty gross. And like I was saying, it was open to the raw stuff and all that debris because it's cracked open the screen. So I'm just going to go to the parts store and find a similar filter, inline filter. I have a pump, got off eBay, fuel pump factory unit. It was like $80. It comes with this wire and a little plug. I'm gonna have to see, because what's going on with it is it's got wiring that bolts up like that, and one looks like it's just ground to ground right there. It loops, at least it looks like it loops around. Anyway, I'm gonna have to look at these wires. I might have to cut off the pigtail and splice it on, because that's how this pump is ran. And I'm not sure which wire is which. I wonder if I can look that up. Hoping I can. And then yeah, just you're gonna have to figure out wiring, I guess, with this unit. So yeah, that's all I got. And then I'm gonna slap it all back together with this newer pump. See what happens.